Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay. We got Jacob in Wisconsin here to talk Packers. We got an awesome show lined up for you guys and gals on this glorious Saturday evening, July 26th. We got open camp practice tomorrow. We'll be going live during that practice. Really excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. On tap for tonight, we're going to be talking about a new running back that was just signed by the Packers. We'll give you the entire breakdown on him. We got a cornerback that was signed and added to the camp roster. We'll give you a breakdown on that. We'll give you a Christian Watson update and kind of how we see that injury. We've also got a little Evan Williams talk for you as he goes into year two, looking to build off what he did in that awesome rookie campaign. And if we got time, we'll talk about the history of the 1923 Green Bay Packers and kind of these throwback unis that we're going to be diving into this year. We'll lead things off with a little Chicago Bears meltdown too. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome into PTA. Appreciate you making us a part of your evening. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. What we are fans just like you, here to talk about the Packers on a daily basis, going live for pregame shows, postgame shows, film breakdown, the whole 9 yards. We got all your camp coverage right here on the channel as well. So if you're looking for daily Packers content, hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check the bell icon so you get notified every time we do go live. Gents, what's going on? How we doing?
Ready to go.
I'm full. I'm stuffed. I can't eat another thing. So if you guys hear me breathing heavy, or if you see the chair spinning, I'll be back. All right.
People who are listening, maybe you're like me. I got YouTube Premium, so sometimes I'll put a live stream on and just lock the screen and have my earbuds in. They're going to be listening to Jacob heavy breathing. They're thinking they're watching 1,000-pound sister over there or something.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
That's exactly right, Tim. But want to say this, big NASCAR fan, Junior Motorsports just got their 100th victory. Man, what a race. That was a lot of fun. So,
let's go.
The redneck was coming out of me just saying, I had a cowboy hat on in here watching the NASCAR race. So it was a lot of fun. All right, let's get into it. Hey, let's lead things off with a little Chicago Bears update. That's what you guys and gals came for, right? I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm going to try to mute this.
Get ready to go.
So this was at Bears practice as Caleb Williams, surprise, surprise. It's kind of hard to see, but he throws another interception. My man, I don't know if he went colorblind. He just feels sorry for the defense, but this dude is struggling in camp. As we said earlier, you see how it started. Look how it's going, boys. Not looking good. Sportskeeda Pro Football tweeted out Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams threw two interceptions, during 5 7-on-7 plays, failing to complete a single pass in that drill. We've been pretty vocal about Caleb Williams. You guys know it was easy last year for people to just say, oh, Caleb has a bad offensive line. And then when you actually go watch the tape, you actually go watch the game, that man was holding the ball for 5, 6, 7 seconds. And he'd take a sack. You look at the stat, you look at the box score and go, well, his offensive line sucks. What do you want him to do? No, Caleb having a hard time reading defense. And I think there's some accuracy issues there as well. Generational arm talent. Don't get me wrong. I believe that. But boy, oh boy, it takes more than just arm talent to be a quarterback at the NFL level. Look at this, guys. The media, are they already turning on him in Chicago? The Sun-Times sports cover featuring the Bears, whose offense continued to sputter in camp, particularly in the red zone, right? It says, headline, red alert, Williams struggles for the third straight practice, particularly in red zone, but Bears try to keep perspective. Go around the horn here, boys, because you guys know I try not to pile on to rival takes, like I'm focused mainly on the Packers. I don't like to do the big rants and the, bashing on other fan bases and all that. But this Bears fan base talked so much trash going into last year that how many times did we hear it, Jacob, Tim, all off season long leading up to the 2024 season? All we heard was this is the best roster that's ever been put around a rookie quarterback. They're ready to win and compete right now. Well, they win 6 games. Did they get the 6? I can't remember if they got the 6 or not.
All that talk, we got to go back to Bob Uecker.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Exactly. So I want to get y'all's take on it. And listen, it's early. I get it. You know, isn't it nice, Jacob, to look up at Packers training camp and see Jordan Love dropping dimes? I mean, this dude, we showed the 23-yard out route just on the money. You see the drills where they're throwing at the net. He's throwing on the run, over the top, index finger on the ball, tight spiral, absolute rocket ball right into, I don't know, about a 12-inch square from 20 yards away. And then you look across just down the state there to the southeast just a touch and see him struggling in the Windy City. Jacob, how you feeling over there, man? You still breathing heavy? And,
it's hurting. I'm shifting. It's just weird because
he said shifting, by the way. He didn't say what you thought he said. Go ahead.
Yes. It's really weird because, coming out of college, I like what Coach said here is, Caleb, you're not playing New Mexico State anymore, bud. These are NFL players, and even the worst NFL players probably better than most of the guys and most of the talent he's went against. It's a bit of, cold water being splashed on his face, and it's tough. It's really hard to fathom that the guy could be struggling. I mean, he paints his nails so well. I don't understand how that doesn't translate to the NFL. I mean, it's just weird. I don't know. What do you think, Tim?
I'm with Holmes. They won 5 games. They won 5 games. Why are we talking about this team? Why?
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that.
It's sometimes when things are so bad, Tim, you just got to report on them. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. And I think we got a special request here, Tim, if I seen correctly here. Who is it? Yeah, here we go. Holmes MD1 says, Tim, give him the bench shot one more time with Caleb Williams, please. So let's just leave it up on the screen as we move on to the next topic here. But again, could they turn it around? Yes, they could. But when you got a guy leading the charge, a captain of your team, acting like that on the sideline, I have a hard time believing it's going to be easy to swing that ship back around. Now, we'll see what happens. And Ben Johnson, I think, is finding out he's got his work cut out for him a little bit. Jared Goff ain't coming.
Get ready to go.
Jared Goff ain't coming through that door. You know what I mean? With his, 70% completion percentage in some Sundays. And I think actually Ben Johnson actually came out and said, I want Caleb to have a 70% completion percentage this year. Good luck, Benny boy.
Good luck with that.
Yep. So there you go. There's your little Chicago Bears update. What do you got there? Read that off for me, Jake, as we move along.
It says that's the face I make when I got to finish off the greens. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the face Caleb makes when he's looking for mom in the stands after another devastating performance.
All right. Enough bashing on the Bears, man. They've been getting a lot of it here lately. All right, so let's move on to some Packers talk. As we got a couple signings, we'll start with the running back here. Yeah, respect oranges. I think that is an actual quote. I've made a huge mistake, Ben Johnson.
Get ready to go.
All right, so the Packers have signed a running back. Now, listen, is it a camp body? Is this someone who's actually going to compete for a roster spot? I lean towards camp body. But nonetheless, it's somewhat of an interesting prospect here. Let's kind of dive into it. And what I did was had the interwebs, AI, artificial intelligence say, hey, man, give me everything you know on this guy. Let me know what to expect here. All right, we got Packers claim running back. The Green Bay Packers claimed running back Israel Abanikanda. All right, say it for me, Jacob.
Abanikanda.
Abanikanda. All right, we got it. Off waivers from the San Francisco 49ers as confirmed by his agent Sean O'Gorman to the Packers on SI on July 25th, 2025. I think it was Sports Illustrated that first reported it, I believe. The previous team, he was released by the 49ers on Thursday after being claimed by them from the New York Jets on December 3rd, 2024. The Packers had shown interest in him during the 2023 NFL Draft where he was selected in the 5th round by the Jets. So this is a guy that probably had a 5th to 6th round talent grade on him for the Packers because they had showed some interest in him. He was obviously taken by the Jets higher than the Packers would have taken him, I would have imagined. Let's look at the RAS here real quick, right? Yes, Coach Lynn says he did go to Pitt. That's correct. He played for Pitt and came out in the 2023 class. So his overall RAS was a 9.63, okay? His height, 5'10". That scored him a 4.9. So when you score a 9.63 and your height has a score of 4.9, you can kind of tell where this is going, right? Everything else is going to be off the charts. 216 pounds, boys. That's a thick running back right there. 5'10", 216. That's pretty thick, Tim. You know what I'm saying?
Think you get the Hafley voice of approval or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hit it.
Thick.
You go. So Explosion grade. You guys know the composite explosion grade is a combination of the vertical jump and the broad jump, right? Kind of shows the explosion in the legs. He had a 41-inch vertical, which scored him a 9.86, almost perfect. A broad jump of 10.08, scoring a 9.65. 40-yard dash, 4.45, scoring a 9.19. 20-yard split was even better than the 40-yard dash at a 2.53, scoring a 9.70. And the 10-yard split, even better than that, with a 1.5 10-yard split, scoring a 9.81. What does that mean, guys? The first 10 yards of that 40-yard dash was the most explosive aspect of his 40-yard dash, that 4.45, okay? So what it tells you is really, really quick burst out the gate, maybe not as much top-end speed, although the 40 itself still scored a 9.19, which is pretty impressive. The shuttle is okay, nothing really to write home about there. So you're talking about the composite agility grade not okay. His shuttle was a 4.32, scoring a 5.32. Three cone was a 7.14, scoring a 5.11. Jacob, I think we can work with this, man. What do you think about this RAS here? This ain't too bad.
Well, first of all, Tim, Respect Oranges is requesting a little something from you, if possible.
Never thought we'd get to the point where we're getting requests.
Drop shout outs.
I've seen it coming a long time ago.
Best guy around.
That'll do. I actually was very high on him coming out of the draft, and I was a little surprised that he didn't get a good stint with New York. But then when you look at what happened, they had Breece Hall. They also had Braylon Allen, the two-headed monster, and they also drafted another back, I believe, in this draft. So he just kind of was the odd man out. But I agree with you. I mean, his size, I think it's almost perfect for what the Packers and Goody usually love. That speed is pretty impressive. And you say like the 10-yard, the 20-yard, and the 40, all very intriguing numbers there. I think the biggest one for me was that vertical 41-yard. I mean, that dude's dunking. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's dunking with ease, being able to jump that high, even at 5'10". Clint says he can jump over Joe Pesci. I could probably I could probably get over Joe at this time of day, but I'm personally pretty excited. I think that between him and Amar Johnson, that'd be a great competition there for our practice squad. So I'm all about it. Totally pumped.
Yep.
If anything, Tim, these are the guys we're going to be seeing the most of in preseason, right? It's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad you had the phonetic spelling included in the article so we can all say his name correctly.
Listen, I'm tired of proving I'm an idiot. You know what I'm saying? I've proven it time and time again, so I'm going to start doing that with the pronunciations. Go ahead.
You got to do it, because this is the time of year when we're all looking at the preseason games going, who?
Exactly right.
And I'm going to echo Jacob's sentiment. This shows that we're serious. Dead ass serious this year. And we already have a stellar running back room as it is, but competition needs to be kept at its highest caliber, especially in training camp. And this guy's got high ceiling or no ceiling. And I love it, man. Let's do it. We're going to see a lot of reps here, probably right away against who? His former team.
Is it really? I'll be darned, it is, right?
Look at that.
The Jets.
Who?
And the Jets are going to be coming into Lambeau. So he made a little preseason revenge game. Does that actually exist?
I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, we'll find out. Roster context. The Packers needed depth at running back due to undrafted rookie Amar Johnson missing training camp practices with a hamstring injury and being on the non-football injury list. So you're kind of filling that void there a little bit, right? This right here, guys, with Amar Johnson, I hope Amar Johnson pans out. I have a lot more hope in Amar Johnson than I do in someone like Israel here, right? But with that being said, you can't make the club in the tub. This is what we're talking about. You can't make the club in the tub. That phrase that we use time and time again, I heard it coined by our boy Tim Ryan, who was on Moving the Chains way back in the day on Sirius NFL Radio. And this is what he's talking about. Like you cannot give yourself a shot to make the 53 or even the practice squad if you're not healthy. That's not a knock against Amar. Things happen, and hopefully he can get on the field as soon as possible. But this is kind of that signing to, I don't want to say replace, but fill that void and make sure you got enough camp bodies. And who knows, man, you might catch lightning in a bottle. NFL experience in his rookie season with the Jets, he played 6 games, had 22 carries for 70 yards, and 7 receptions for 43 yards. He saw no game action with the Niners in 2024. So it's a very, very minute grade there of like a 59, I believe. So you kind of throw it out the window, to be honest with you. The player profile, he's a Brooklyn native was a 4-star recruit and described himself at the scouting combine as humble, mentally tough, and dedicated, attributes shaped by his Nigerian upbringing. So he's actually from Nigeria. Really, really cool backstory there. System familiarity. He is familiar with the Packers' offensive system, having worked under similar schemes with Jets coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, who just happens to be in Packers camp now. Do you think Hackett might have
mentioned something?
Put a little birdie in there. Like, hey,
he spent some time over there across the river in Jersey, right? With the Jets, right?
I think it makes a lot of sense. And then, of course, the 49ers picked him up in that Shanahan scheme. So he's already been embedded in this wide zone boot look. Now, we're doing a little more duo than we have in the past in terms of wide zone, but it's all duo is zone, right? We've talked about this. It's just that double vertical power. Current roster.
Can I real quick? I just like the note here you had in the article about being humble, mentally tough, and dedicated. Attributes that to his Nigerian upbringing. We had a guy at camp last year and the year before, Kenneth Odumegwu, part of the international program. So you see the Packers' intent on bringing guys like this into the fold. Those are terms that they have nothing to do with the X's and O's, but we look for humble, mentally tough, dedicated guys in Green Bay. And if you don't believe me, look at Josh Jacobs. Look at Jordan Love. Let's run down the list of guys that we have. So I thought that was really cool that you put that in the article.
Absolutely. And to go back to what we originally started with here, this is anti-humble here. All right. And
here's a guy.
When you're anti-humble, you end up here. That's what happens. Okay. That's typically the chain of, that's the way that works. So current roster, the Packers have 7 running backs on their 90-man training camp roster with Josh Jacobs as the Pro Bowl starter, obviously. So when you look at the running back room here, Jacob, you got Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson. I'm going to put Marshawn Lloyd above, although it's sorted by PFF grades. Marshawn Lloyd above Chris Brooks because he was a 3rd-round pick, right? So you got those 3 plus Chris Brooks. Those are the 4 who I think have a really good shot, all 4 of them being on the roster. If you have to stick with 3, it's going to be Marshawn Lloyd, Emmanuel Wilson, Josh Jacobs with Chris Brooks on the practice squad. Then you've got our boy Israel, Amar Johnson, and then Jalen Watt. I like what they've done here, Jacob. They've brought in another athletic freak at the running back position, plugged him right in Amar Johnson's spot. And if Amar Johnson gets healthy and you got to cut this guy loose, hey, it was worth bringing him in to fill that void for a short time. If it ends up being a bigger problem with Amar Johnson, maybe you got a guy that you can press into the practice squad and pull him into a game in a pinch.
Yeah, for sure. I think that we've done a fantastic job of compiling an excellent group of running backs. Even if we have some injuries in here, I am not worried whatsoever about that room. Do you guys know, is Israel going to actually rock the 00 as his number, or is that just because he's so new? Because I was thinking today,
camp designation. I think
I was thinking, has there ever been a Packer that wore the 0?
0 is not a legal number,
right? Has there ever been a Packer though that wore 0? Because I know it's getting more popular. I believe I saw some running back just switched his number to 0, and I'm just wondering, has the Packers ever had a 0 on their squad?
I don't think they have, Jacob. To the best of my knowledge, not in the last.
Unless you count the good. Nobody had numbers, or they change numbers every 5 minutes, or somebody borrowed a sweater from somebody's trunk of the car and went out and played ball, maybe.
Yeah. And shout out. Go ahead, Jacob. Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to agree with you. I think that Marshawn Lloyd has got to probably take the 3 spot right now over Chris Brooks, and that's not easy to do because I really think Chris Brooks showed a lot of guts down the stretch, and he was clearly somebody that Matt LaFleur trusted, which I honestly didn't think that. He trusted him as much as he did, but he was in the game for key snaps during key moments of key games and didn't just have him in there for pass blocking. He actually liked him a lot in the passing game, and I thought he did a really good job of catching out of the backfield.
Yeah. So shout out to Easton Butler, our good friend. Guys, everybody go give him a follow.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to follow someone who's just a great dude, we got to meet him at the draft. Gives a lot of great information because he's right there local in Green Bay as well. He actually said, Jacob, running back Israel Abon, I ain't going to try to screw it up again, will wear number 23. So he's taking Jair's number currently.
Look at that.
All right. Yeah. So just wanted to shout Easton out. Go give him a follow, guys. Easton @ Easton __ Butler. You will not be disappointed with that.
Turn the notifications on too, because you never know. You'll get stuff all the time. It's fresh news all the time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, so there you go. That is the let me go ahead and publish that. Actually, let me get that off the screen. So there is your running back signing. Okay, and we'll see if that plays a role in how this roster is constructed. Let's move on to the cornerback signing that we had, and shout out to Easton. It was actually Easton's tweet that made me aware that we had signed Garnett Hollis. All right, so we got another young DB stepping into the fold here, and we'll just kind of go through from where it began. Yeah, Garnett Hollis Jr. So coming out of high school, he was a 3-star according to Rivals Industry ranking with an 86.53 grade coming out of high school. Okay, they had him listed at 6'1", 185. As he ended up enrolling, I believe right out of the gate, he enrolled, at Western Virginia. And he is from Franklin, Tennessee. I had no idea until I looked this information up. So that's pretty cool. Just over toward, I believe, Nashville, if I remember correctly. But he was actually recruited by Northwestern, South Carolina, Arkansas, Purdue, and Louisville. Guys, those aren't like small schools, not at all. So had some of the larger programs seeking his play there as he came out of high school. When you look at the PFF grades, 2021 minimal playing time, he had a 62.3, 2022 a 65.1, 2023 a 73.0. So what you see is
wait a minute. Did you say 65?
65%. That's right. So you had a player that was ascending all the way through 2023, Jacob. Then he took a step back in 2024 at a 53.1. And it's easy to go, okay, we always want those players that are ascending. We've talked about it time and time again. I'll give you an example of a player that was ascending and then took a step back. That was Jaden Reed, his final year in college. So what's your take so far on our boy Garnett Hollis Jr. out of West Virginia, Jacob?
Yeah, love the size. Like you said, played for, West Virginia, they play some dogs out there. You look at where he's played, he's definitely not a slot, right? He's got only 3 slot snaps, looks like over 550 wide cornerback. And what really stands out too is he looks like he's a special teams guy. And I think that if there is a way for him to maybe possibly sneak on any type of squad or at least be a contributor on the practice squad, I think he's definitely going to need to be a well-rounded player, which it looks like he clearly is. So I got a lot of excitement for him just to bring him in here, get some more competition. Do I expect he's going to make the roster or anything like that? Probably not. No, barring some crazy injuries or, situations like that. But it's always good to have another guy like that can come in and compete.
Yeah, shout out to Celestial Prophet 20, who just became a member here on YouTube. Appreciate the support there. You will be entered into the giveaway tomorrow. We're going to be giving away an autographed Dontavion Wicks card, rookie card. Okay, so anyone who is a member here on YouTube, if you're not a member, you want to become one, just click that join tab that's right below the video. Or you can join our Patreon group, patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access. Scan the QR code in the upper right, or just go to the site. If you're a member of that $3 tier, or you join as a member on YouTube, you'll be entered into the giveaways. And again, it's a Dontavion Wicks autographed rookie card. Really sweet piece of memorabilia. We got some others coming. We got, I think, 2 or 3 LVN autographed rookie cards. We got some Josh Jacobs jersey cards, which are real cool. So just a way for us to give back to those who are supporting the channel. We appreciate you there, Prophet. Tim, look at the RAS, man. Not that bad. 8.26 for Garnett Hollis out of West Virginia. He was 6 foot, 199 pounds. Okay. Yep. Only 11 bench reps, which you're not too concerned with that with the cornerback position. So your composite size grade was considered great here, right? Composite explosion grade was good with a 36, I believe, 36.5-inch vertical, might be 38, kind of hard to read, 7.29 score, and then a broad jump of 10.05, scoring an 8.11. The 40-yard dash was a 4.5 flat, scoring a 7.11. 20-yard split was a 2.59, which was probably the stronger part of the 40-yard dash, kind of that mid-range, right? The 10-yard split was a 1.58, scoring a 6.20. So one of those guys that not the fastest off the line, but that intermediate closing, you got probably the most productive aspect of his 40. The shuttle, not great, 4.30, scoring a 4.96. He did not run the 3-cone. So you've got an RAS of 8.26, Tim. You've got a ceiling of 73.0 in PFF in terms of college grade. I don't know, man. This might be one of those dudes that makes practice squad,
That's why I love your Jaden Reed comparison. I love that you brought Bird's name up because we talked about that before. things really got going with his career. And we said we had to look back at the year before. You know, we were going into that draft and people were low on him because of his previous year's grade. And I think this is another player who, you know, we could use as an example. 6'1", 201. I mean, that's the prototype that that's the range. And then if you scroll down to the RAS again, this is what I love, right? You know, 11 reps on the bench, right? Whatever, that's red. A little low on the shuttle. Those are things you can change at the pro level. You can hit the weight room. You can hit the cone drills, and you can work with your staff and develop as a player. So those are all things that'll come along as he develops. So I love this signing. Ever since Ja left, we gave him the boot, however you want to look at it. Corner is not, I don't want to use the word concern, but you have to put a star up there, and you have to keep fresh crop of talent in the room, and you have to have a competitive room. We have a lot of talent there already. But you're one injury away, or you're, one lackluster performance or two during training camp away from moving down the depth chart and looking to the next guy. So, I mean, we're happy with Hobbs. We're happy with the way Valentine's been playing. Keyshawn's going to be Keyshawn, but you got to have depth of talent, especially at the corner position.
Yeah, so if we take a look at the cornerback room currently, we got Carrington Valentine, Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, Javon Bullard. All four of those are slam dunks to make the roster, right? Everything outside of that, though, I could make a case for Kamal Haddon. I could make a case for Kalen King. We could make a case for Bo Melton if he sticks, and they really like his versatility, being able to play wide receiver and corner. Micah Robinson, there was a lot around him, although I think he started injured here with camp. Might be another can't make the club in the tub type deals. Jonathan Baldwin, I remember us doing a breakdown on him. There was another guy, too. Who's Bugs? Is it Kazir Brown?
That's Kazir Brown.
Kazir Brown.
Physical freak right there, right? So you've got, again, Kalen King. We'll go back up to Kamal Haddon. Kalen King. Now you got Garnett Hollis Jr. You got Gregory Jr., Jonathan Baldwin, Bo Melton, Tyron Herring. You've got Kazir Bugs Brown, Micah Robinson, and Isaiah Dunn. So, it just feels like Goody just stacked this stuff up here, boys, and said, let's just get a bunch of young, athletic freak talent and see what sticks. And, hey, while we're at it, Jacob, let's just make Bo Melton wear number 16 and put him on that side of the ball, too.
Yeah. Look, obviously you said the first four, we kind of know that those guys are locks here. It is interesting. We've got a lot of a pool here that some guys could maybe emerge that we would not have thought about. I even look at guys like Gregory Jr. You heard some kind of murmurs of him doing some stuff in camp. I really like Tyron Herring and his size. Kazir Brown being at 6'3", 210. I mean, I don't know about you, Tim, but I look at these guys and I see a certain type of build, like you said, that they're trying to get. They seem to want a guy that's at least 6 foot. I mean, they're hovering more towards around that 200 mark than, I mean, the odd guy out is Micah Robinson. He's 6 foot, 184. That's, I think, the smallest guy that they have on there. So it looks like we're trying to maybe be a little bit more of a bulkier, a little more size. I think we want these guys to be able to come in and throw their heads down and make some plays in the running game and also be a little more physical. And I'm all about that, man. I mean, you look at the top four right there, Bullard ain't afraid to throw. Hobbs sounds like he's just a madman. You know what we got in Keyshawn? He's not afraid to throw his head in there. Carrington, for being kind of a squirrely, very quick guy, he's willing to throw some thunder every now and then. So I'm pretty excited about the possibilities, even though it stinks that we had to let Jair go, or like Tim said, give him the boot. But the thing is it's a new team, it's a new day, and I think that this team could surprise a lot of people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree, man. Love too the fact that Javon Bullard hasn't even turned 23 years old yet, man.
That's
and there's
crazy.
some people already ready to write him off. It's like, man, we got to slow down. We got to slow.
We just getting started, baby. You know about
right.
them Bulldogs, baby. Let's go.
All right, so there is your latest cornerback signing. Now, since we're talking DB, let's just kind of keep it in that vein there, okay? And our boy Evan Williams, man, the stuff he did as a rookie last year, really, really impressive, right? And I know there were several articles written today, so I had AI, hey, go grab any information you got on Evan Williams going into year 2, and let's just kind of dive into it here a little bit, okay? And I want to give a shout-out to Tom Silverstein, okay? All quotes mentioned below we shared by Tom Silverstein in his most recent article in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, okay? That article can be found here. So if you're in the Patreon group, or if you want to just screenshot this so you can go check out his article, or just go to his Twitter account, you can find that article in its entirety. He had some really good quotes in that article, okay? So Evan Williams' background rookie season, Obviously, Evan Williams was selected as a 4th-round pick in 2024 for the Packers. Williams quickly emerged as a training camp standout, leading all players with 5 interceptions. You guys remember that last year, how Evan Williams was just constantly taking the ball away in training camp. Lo and behold, it transitioned right onto the field in the regular season. So he transitioned from backup to starter by week 4, making 7 starts, including the playoff game, with notable performances like 10 tackles and 2 pass breakups in his debut game against the Rams and a game-clinching interception against the Indianapolis Colts. He earned a spot on the Pro Football Writers of America all-rookie team for his contribution. So all-rookie according to the PFW there. So health challenges in 2024. He suffered a thigh injury, much like Jacob on the pole over there at the club. He suffered a thigh injury before the December 23rd, 2024 game against New Orleans, missing 3 regular season games. He aggravated the injury in the first quarter of the January 12th, 2025 wildcard playoff loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, playing the rest of the game at reduced capacity. So you could tell the difference between a college season and an NFL season much longer, and it kind of caught up with him, it seems like. So I think he's going to be even more prepared to absorb that kind of wear and tear on his body going into 2025. The injury required a month to heal postseason, delaying his offseason training. Okay, so learning to stay healthy postseason, the Packers sent Williams to Badger Athletic Performance at UW-Madison for analysis, where sensors evaluated his running form, strength, flexibility, and potential injury causes like stress on hamstrings and quads. He described the process, quote, this is one of the quotes from Tom Silverstein's article, they just track your running form, kind of get you fully hooked up to a bunch of sensors and just see how the way that you run might affect the injury that you have. I got the answers that I needed. Jacob, this sounds a lot like the Christian Watson stuff, right?
Yeah.
When he went down and got the with that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it seems like whatever they did, if you guys can remember, there was multiple seasons back to back where we were firing our training squad, the strength and conditioning coaches were getting, shipped out like yesterday's trash. Whatever they did when they found that, I think it was the exact same one, right? The Badger Athletic Club, where they went and found out that Watson had one of his quads was like 20% more developed than the other one or something crazy like that. So obviously his body was favoring that. And that's what led to him not fully being able to heal the right way. I think when they found out how that helped Watson so dramatically, it seems like they've been going to that well over and over and over again, because I honestly, it's pretty interesting to see the science that's behind all this. He talks about all the sensors, people don't think how technical the game of football is, obviously on the field. It's even crazier when you take a step back and look at what the rehab, the training, everything that goes around it, the dietitians, it's not just the hour that you're on the field, the 3 hours you play the game. It's a full-time lifestyle that these guys have to do to keep their bodies in that sort of peak form to be able to play at this level. It's pretty cool too that they've found a home there with the Badger Athletic Performance Club there at UW-Madison. And it almost feels like that we have like an advantage in that aspect. Like if guys are that good at rehabbing and being able to understand precisely, half the problem is not necessarily having the right diagnosis for some of these issues. When they know that for sure they can pinpoint exactly what is wrong with you down to the way you're running, that's pretty cool.
Pretty wild. And Tim, as he was talking about that, how these guys, it's like a full-time job keeping your body tuned to be able to play at the NFL level. All I could think about is some overweight guy sitting on his couch in his whitey toddies with the Cheeto stains on the right hip or left hip, depending on if he's left-handed or right.
Should have made that tackle.
Yeah. This guy's Christian Watson's.
We need more sacks, guys. Guys, we need more sacks.
Max Crosby gets so many sacks.
The
meatloaf.
The other thing here, it says he has added muscle to his 5'11", 200-pound frame. Feels healthy, lean, and fast, stating, quote, I'm just really ready to tear it up this year, honestly. Just make that leap.
Thick.
It sounds like Evan's in a good spot here, man. And like I said, shout out to Tom Silverstein for getting these awesome quotes from Evan and putting that together.
Yeah, Spoon is the man, right? The man, the myth, the legend, plugged in, absolutely. We're a long way away from shut up and rub some dirt in it, right? Remember the old days, Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you hurt or are you injured? Shut up and play. Yeah, it's a new dawn, a new day, and the advancements that we've had with not just technology but in the medical field and like Jacob's saying, being able to analyze the way a guy like physically runs stride for stride in real time and understand a potential injury before it starts, or maybe one that you're rehabbing and preventing it in the future. I mean, that's huge, man. This is next level.
Yeah, for sure. Coach's insights. All right. Head coach Matt LaFleur emphasized learning his body to avoid injuries. Quote, he's got to continue to learn his body because I know there were some injuries last year. He's another guy that loves the game. He's extremely intelligent. You could really see that on the tape, man. He seemed like he was playing a half a step fast, and it was because of this, not the physical ability that he has. Defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley praised his growth. Quote, he's a very intelligent player. He started to learn how to study the game more, and he's starting to understand how serious you need to take it. His current role and expectations, currently starting as a strong safety opposite Xavier McKinney, competing with Javon Bullard, who may shift to slot corner, obviously full-time. Williams on his growth, quote, I think I've grown tremendously just as far as the habits I have, being able to take care of my body like a professional. I'm taking walkthroughs as serious as you can and being intentional with all you do here. Position to help the defense improve significantly now that he's healthy and committed. So if he wasn't committed last year, boys, and he went out and had that kind of performance, talk about raising the bar. And for those that are in the Patreon group, this YouTube link right here that you see on the channel or on the article, which is this stuff you have access to on our Patreon group, click that. That'll send you directly to our YouTube channel and the specific video where we did a Chalk Talk segment on Evan Williams just about a month ago. So if you want to kind of relive what he did last year, the link's right there conveniently easy for you to find there on the article on Patreon. So anything else on Evan Williams, gents? Anything at all?
Yeah, just real quick, if you guys want to see, I mean, every time I watch an interview with him, I just am so impressed by how mature he seems. We forget, I mean, his rookie season, we didn't expect a lot. We talk about it often on this podcast, how when we did the breakdown of him in college, we're like, yeah, he's the thumper. He looks like he can play the run real well, but man, he's not great at the pass, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, I think was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, compared to what we thought.
We were all surprised by his coverage grade, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And even more impressive than what he does on the field to me is how he carries himself off the field for being so young, coming into a defense where, again, we did not expect much out of him, and he overperforming. And then the way he just handles himself in interviews, if you want to have a good time, I believe it's like a 5 or 6 minute interview that the Packers have on their website that he did from maybe a couple days ago, where he just talks about the process of him, what it took for him to come into the NFL, how he actually had a great little blurb about how he used to actually know Hobbs back in the day, how he played with his older brother, how he used to come to the house and play with him and all that kind of stuff.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And what's even better than that is just like the guy, he had expectations for himself. He seems like Coach just said, he's got really good FBI to the point where, if we didn't have a guy like X back there, it was kind of the field general. I feel like Evan Williams is that type of player that could make that unbelievably large step in year 2 and become kind of more of like I hate to say middle linebacker, but like the quarterback of that defense. And he also made a really great point too, that he says, it's awesome coming in to his personal year 2 at the same time that Hafley's coming into year 2, because he feels like that he started at the same time as his defensive coach, the defensive coordinator, the actual field general, you know what I mean? And he says it's just really, really exciting because everybody's going into that year 2, even though it's his year 2 as an NFL player. He feels like the whole defense is kind of in that sophomore season, which they are obviously coming together. And the way that they're kind of all on the same page, it seems like, and they kind of know what the base defense is, that now they're starting to get a little more spicy. You know what I mean? They had the base recipe down. Now they're throwing in a little spice here and there, where it's like these guys are going to be a little more technical, a little more hopefully not thinking, not in their head. That was the biggest thing that Hafley, when he came in, he's like, I want these guys just playing. I don't want them thinking. That was always like a big motto for him, I feel like. And it seems like they've bought into that. And this year, if they're not thinking, bro, and they're just running and being absolute human meat missiles, watch out, NFL.
That goes hand in hand with FBI, right? Part of football intelligence is, you trust the preparation, right? You embrace the process, you trust the system. And then when Sunday rolls around, you just go out there and play your game, man. You don't overthink it. You go out there and play free, right? And, to your point, Jacob, I remember thinking last year when, Packers.com did the little segment with Evan Williams and Leroy Butler. They sat down and had a little conversation, kind of welcoming him to Green Bay. And my first reaction was kind of similar to yours, is, man, this guy is a total pro already. and he's barely been in the league. Now we're going into year 2 in this Hafley system with the room that we're putting together. You know, keep your eyes on E. Will, man. This guy's going to blow up this year. I got a real strong feeling about it.
Yeah, and being in that room with Xavier McKinney constantly, gosh, it's just such a blessing. So there you go. There's your little Evan Williams year 2 update. Let's go to the chat real quick, get these cleaned up. Clint, the armchair quarterback, said, I wouldn't want to be the one who makes the final cuts. It's the part of the season that I hate the most is when we get to that last week. I remember last year it was Christian Welch. I'm like, how can you look that man in the eye and say you didn't make the team when he did everything right through the preseason? I mean, he had production in the preseason. He was standing out at camp. But thank God he's back on the roster again this year, and it's pretty cool that once again he may not make the roster, but he's going to be pushing for a practice squad spot. Randy Steen in the chat said, I got my autographed LVN this past week. Thanks, fellas.
Nice.
Hey, thank you for supporting the channel. Randy obviously won one of our giveaways, so really, really cool there. Appreciate you, Randy. Andy Monday in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Says the literal translation of Gutekunst is good art. Goody always working to craft our roster. Holmes MD1 says, hold on a second. I need to drop AFAM's ma off at her 12-step program quick. Be right back. So thank you, Holmes, for and thank Jacob for marking that. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Coach Lynn.
That is correct.
Coach Lynn says Williams might be our best open field tackler. I can't argue with that at all. Again, That's what popped on the college tape to us. And then lo and behold, we were concerned about the coverage. My man goes out there and covers lights out. Played absolutely great. So, all right, let's move along to the next topic here, and that's our boy Christian Watson. I don't know how you guys feel about this, man, but I just got a weird feeling that we're going to see him sooner rather than later. Now, I'm not talking about him going out there and playing full speed in camp, but this feels like it might be closer to the 3 or 4 game mark as opposed to the 6 or 7 game mark. Now, maybe it falls right in the middle, right after the bye. Who knows? But I don't know, man. Just things are looking really, really up for Scoop.